r/askreddit. What was the black market at your school? Gum. Absolutely not allowed at school, and only 1 or 2 people would have a pack of gum a day, and I swear kids would beg and plead for a piece from whoever had a pack that day. My school was pretty big and also had a lot of boarding students. Their lunch was supplied by the boarding house kitchen, and some days they had burgers, etc. On those days a few of us would trade our lunch money for burgers. The boarders could pocket the money and grab a second burger and or go raid the canteen while we enjoyed our forbidden burgers. It was a beautiful system. I also wrote a few notes from doctor/parents for people who wanted to get out of school early or wanted out of a sports lesson. We had a secret underground trading society because students had a limited amount of each food they were allowed to have. This is normal in most US schools, but forbidden in ours. Don't like French fries? That's cool. Someone doesn't like the burgers and you can get a second one if you give them your fries. Not a fan of sugary snacks? That's cool. I'll trade you a Fagita for your ice cream cup. Yeah, these oranges aren't the greatest, but I'll take them anyways. Have some corn for your troubles. My school had actual black market coffee. This dude would just make bottles of different flavored iced coffees and bring them in and sell them from his backpack. I had a kid at my school whose father was a doctor. The kid sold sick notices for about €5 for every sick day the notice would give you. He even sold them to some of the teachers. Never bought them as I was on good terms with my own doctor. Exam booklets. At my college there were special exam booklets that you had to buy at the campus bookstore that were the only thing you were allowed to take tests on. If you didn't buy one and bring it to class, you couldn't take the test. And if you forgot, there wasn't enough time to go get one before class started and you failed the test, I bought a whole bunch of them and would sell them at a markup to anyone who forgot. At least that was the plan. I ended up giving most of them away to people who said they didn't have cash. I would have felt guilty if they failed. I guess I'm just not ruthless enough to run a black market. I noticed a friend of mine was making lots of money by selling chips when our school stopped selling them in vending machines. Selling them was banned and could lead to suspension, but the payout was huge due to demand. I decided to sell myself and would earn $30 every 2 to 3 days. A box of chips would cost $12 and contain 30 bags, so I'd sell them for $1 each. My friend later got busted for selling, and so my supply and demand skyrocketed shortly. That's actually how I ended up understand how stocks work. Haircuts. For a Catholic school run by nuns, hygiene was super strict, so if your hair or nails were long they would cut it halfway so that you would be embarrassed and have to get a haircut ASAP. So a couple of the high school kids made a super secret barber shop inside the school behind the dump for broken cars. You have to know the right people and schedule an appointment to get in. I used to sell ramen packs 20 years ago when Eastern culture wasn't that well known where I was born, Denmark. I sold it for 5 Danish kroner/pack and 1 Danish kroner per usage of my electric kettle. I had 3 flavors: chicken, shrimp, spicy, and beef. It was a brand called Yum Yum. Till this day, shrimp flavored Yum Yum is still my favorite. Sorry for my English, third language. I was the black market. I used to be the high school's candy man. I bought a 20 pack of candy bars for around $9 and sold each one for $1. This was very frowned upon by the school, so I felt like a legit drug dealer. The worst was when I would tell people to be quiet about it, but there was always a retard that would get up in the middle of class and come up to me dollar in hand trying to buy a candy bar. Idiot. You screwed this up for me. Good times. Any new trend? Slime, fidget spinners, Beyblades. People would make accessories or buy bulk of something, then sell it right before or after school. Some people made so much money it was considered a job by some students. I made almost $70 just selling slime. Then everything was banned from my school, so people started selling school supplies. There's no escape, teachers. Even at primary school, I had a reasonable knowledge of geology. I had found a place full of stones containing veins of fool's gold. I would take pieces of fool's gold to school and easily swap it for just about everything from marbles to high-end skateboards and BMX bikes. I had swapped a big piece of fool's gold for a decent skateboard with the much loved Kryptonic 60mm wheels and was very happy. I was sent to the headmaster's office the next day to face an upset kid and a very angry father. The father had taken the rock with the very golden looking fool's gold to a jeweler shop. He must have been laughed out of the shop. My mother was on my side that it was a simple swap of objects, but I was pressurized to give the fancy skateboard back. I still did swaps, but kept the swaps in a more reasonable range, though I was very happy with my collection of boards / bikes / binoculars / microscopes and much more. I have a few good pieces of rock with lovely looking iron pyrite, and when I look at them, I think of all the lovely con jobs I engineered as a 9-year-old rock hound. Tough or question? RGS. S. Everything. My school doesn't allow any trades going in the school. Even the canteens, where the students regularly bought foods, was considered a black market and were located about 50 meters outside the school. The school knew about this black market and they reduced the recess time from 30 minutes to 10 minutes, and all the students that were outside the school would be in detention. They cannot simply ban the canteen because it is located in a parking lot of a paper company. The canteens are made of simple pickup trucks that serve foods. To those who asked where is this happening in Indonesia? A few years back I was pretty decent at copying someone's signature, so I ended up writing notes to get people out of class. I used this one signature frequently from a teacher that I knew, but they got suspicious when lots of notes for things used the same signature. They didn't find out that it was me, but I stopped after that. We occasionally got the notes and at school for a period to go to the pizza place that was like a mile away. One time the fire alarm blew when we were out. Procedure is that if a student isn't there when they do evacuation and a roll call, they call parents. But my note saved me because I apparently had a reason for not being there. A few of my friends got detention though, but they didn't rat me out. I bought them sorry pizza the next day. I sell cookies because people have money and they get hungry. Also, we don't have a cafeteria, so people just come to me. I even have codename Toto. Also Wi-Fi. I installed a Wi-Fi system in my school for people to use, and I make a profit out of it. I'm a genius. I created the black market at my small town rural New Zealand school. I made several $100s a week by selling drinks. It was the start of my first year as a senior, like 16 over 17 years old, at high school, when the school canteen raised its prices and stopped offering soda. Me and my classmates didn't like this and talked about buying our own. Problem was students couldn't leave school grounds during school hours. I liked the idea, so over the rest of the week I looked at the cheapest places to buy soda. Being a small town, there wasn't much opportunity. In the weekend I went into the city 45 minutes and I found Coke brand sodas for 70c. So I bought 100 cans and rented out a locker in the senior common room. Lined it with polystyrene and cold bricks, so I was only able to fit 30 in there. I never expected to be supplying anyone but me and my friends, but word spread quickly and I was sold out by the end of the week. This was also around the time I found out my mum had a commercial purchasing license or something. So I went to several wholesalers, found the ones with the best deals and spent my entire savings of $1,000 on soda and candy. I rented out a few more lockers and business really started rolling in. I got shut down after around 6 months when someone finally ratted on me, but I made a fair bit of cash. Next year I was the student liaison to the canteen committee. Turns out that was the first year they had run at a loss. TL. Doctor, I sold coke in small town NZ and made a lot of money. I have to say, early lunch passes. Basically a piece of paper that would let you skip the lunch queue. Back in year 7 I was given an early lunch pass for something, so I proceeded to photocopy dozens of them and sell them for 50p each. Market went pretty well until they found out that someone was photocopying the passes, so they shut down the system altogether. Made a good profit though, about £50 I think. I would write programs on the T83 calculators in high school that would solve all of the types of problems for the next math test. It would show you the answer and the steps to solve, so you could show your work on the test. Sold the programs for $1 to $5 per kid per test until the teacher finally caught on because someone was talking about it. After that no more, but it was a good run. I made it through 3 semesters worth of advanced mathematics courses. Edit. Clarification that these were math tests.